Ah, Friday. Friday. It's good to be back. Let's get the comments up. Hello, everyone. How you doing? Hope you've had a blessed week. Hope it's been healthy, wise, and profitable. I've been at home. Not profitable. Not so much wise either, really. But it's been nice. It's been a nice break. It's been a nice break because usually I'm out, traveling around the woods and going around forests and doing all kinds of crazy stuff like um but don't always find something, as we know. I mean, so just every now and then, but I do miss it. I do miss boots on the ground. I really do. Let's get these comments up. Let's have a look. Who we got? Right. Is it Alan? Yep. Yep. So we've got on board. We have. And thank you very much for joining us. We've got Delroy. Hello, Delroy. Got Kay. Very good evening to you as well, Kay. Yes, Alan, Big L. Hello. Me, and of course, Louis. Hello, mate. I'm glad you could join me on your lunch break, mate. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Hope you're having a nice lunch. And I will get everything organised soon. Yeah, we know we know what that means. Yeah, all right, that's not a problem. Yeah, that's it. Let's see. Okay. Oh, hang on. That's the boss. It's the boss. Yeah, it's only downstairs. But, yeah. Thank you for the tea, by the way. Very lovely. Very lovely. Thank you, Rox. Very lovely tea. Yep. So we've got Kate, Alan, Louis, Rox, Delroy. Yeah, we've got quite a few in. That's good. That's okay. Yeah. So I wanted to do this week was. Oh, hang on, I forgot somebody. Fox. Yes. And I haven't forgotten as well. Yeah, I've still got that other. Yeah, that I'm gonna. Yeah, you know what I mean, don't you? Yeah, I've still got that. I said from last week. Okay, right. Okay, but you know what I mean anyway as well. Okay. Yep. Did he? Yep. Says hello, Fox. Ready, steady, retro. Hello. Yeah. Good evening, Phil. And chat. Yeah. You know what I mean. Yeah. So did he? Have a look. So I wanted to have a talk this week, first of all, about witnesses, um, and also investigators themselves. Yeah, that actually go talking, to the witnesses, and I think we've got to be a little bit more dubious sometimes. Now I go investigating, but oh, hello, Sean. You all right, mate? Thank you for making it. Thank you for making it, mate. Hope you're keeping well over there. And why I say that is because let me tell you the story. I won't go miles all around. I won't do a Ronnie Corbett. I won't do that. Okay. But I'll just make it as quick as possible and to the point. But I had, by way of another friend, I had a chance. Now, this other friend was Kenny Fubadu from Midnight Lycanthropy. This last Wednesday, a co-host with him on a show, which went really well. Really good show. Went really well. Sweet, lovely. He contacted me and he said, "Do you know what, Phil? I've had this guy contact me, and this guy was from India, and he contacted Kenny saying, look, not exactly Dogman, not exactly a Bigfoot, but he did mention about a dog-headed creature found in India, or seen in India, with like a tiger's body, almost like a Tasmanian devil type thing, um, although there has been word of a pack of Tasmanian devils seen in over there, but that's another story. We're talking about India, right? So anyway, so Kenny said to me, "Look," he said, "the guy I've sort of I've spoken to vaguely, but would you like have a word with him?" Hey, Dawn. Hello, madam. Thank you for making it. Would you have a word with him? Basically. Hi, Dawn. Just talking about this witness that I had, investigator. Now, I said, yeah, sure. I'll have a word with him. Sound him out, see how he is. Anyway, so I was talking to him. Everything started off okay. And I was chatting to him. So his accent was quite, heavy, had quite a heavy Indian accent. Took a little while to get my head around it. I was going to put Google Translate on for a little while, but I thought better not. It's a bit rude sometimes, isn't it? But anyway, oh, hang on, who we got here? Elder Medicine on Bear Claw. Long time no here, long time no see as well. I hope you're doing well. Are you with Wade at the moment? Yeah, because she needs so much patience, that woman. Honestly, with Wade. Yeah, it's nice seeing you both. Thank you for dropping in. Appreciate it. Hope you're keeping well, Wade. Evening all in the chat. Yeah, that's from Dawn. Anyway, so let's get back to it. Hey, Bear Claw Cake says. So I spoke to the bloke. Now, everything went swimmingly. He was telling me about also chupacabra that was seen in India. It's not just in South America where you find chupacabra, Mexico way, and all the rest of it. The goat sucker. He said no, we got it in India as well. But when I started digging a bit deeper, I said, look, okay, right, what you've got yourself up as a scientist. You've got yourself up as a biologist. You've got yourself up as a theologist. He's got a lot of credentials. Have you got any proof of those? And he said, no, I am a scientist, but you don't need to study to be a scientist. I said, well, you do actually. You need to choose a chosen subject, which within the scientific field is recognized. You have to then study that chosen subject. A lot of times you get a supervisor, and then you have to put in a thesis on that subject to the board or to the science panel to be okayed. If it's okayed and they agree with it, your findings, the rest of it. Dawn, hello. Yeah, glad to join you, sir, and good to hear the story that goes with the photo from yesterday. Yes, I know. Yeah. Oh, hello, Jojo. Lovely to see you. Thank you for making it. Appreciate that. Got some good stuff tonight, Jojo. Got some really good stuff. So anyway, I said to him, like, I'm not going to name him because it's not fair. He's not here to kind of defend himself. And all I'm saying is a observation from talking to him. I'm allowed to do that. A lot of people say, well, what was the guy like? Well, I can actually, give my opinion on what a certain person's like to me, but it is only to me. Someone else, he may be different. But anyway, he had a lot of credentials, none of which I could find any proof of. But he also said the very, very dangerous. This is. He said, Phil, I have evidence of this cryptid with a dog's face and a tiger's body. I have evidence. Yeah. Evidence. That's a big thing. That's a big thing. A newly discovered dog's head, tiger's body that comes into villages, evidently, grabs dogs around the neck, extinguishes them, if you like, and then flips them on its back. It's a huge, big thing. Quadrupedal, as I understand, but puts them on its back, these dogs, takes them off it and into the jungle and supposedly eats them. I've got evidence for. Wow. That's almost like a red rag to a bull, isn't it? I mean, within this game that we're in, that's what we're all waiting for. We're waiting for that little spark, that little tiny spark of evidence to go, oh, yeah, we've got it, we've got it, we've got it. Finally, we found something out there. We found something tangible, something we can get our cryptid teeth into, and oh, yes. Oh, what evidence have you got? I said, got DNA, hair sample, video, photographs. They're weak anyway. Video and photographs nowadays are really weak evidence in anyone's book. Let's face it, with AI. So what evidence have you got? Well, Phil, he said in a very thick accent, was it broad accent, I suppose. But he said, if you look at, he said, look on my all of my papers, my scientific papers, Phil. Look on those, and you'll find all the evidence you need. Okay. Normally, I would get a summary. If we asked somebody, we'd get a summary of the evidence. Wow, I was walking along, I happened to found I found a fingerprint. I found a handprint. 6 fingers. Brilliant. Alien. Excellent. Found a footprint. Very odd. Oh, okay. That's good. Make a cast of it. Show us, yeah. Found DNA. Found blood on a branch. Really? Excellent. That'd be brilliant. So all of this stuff didn't have. So what he did have was the evidence in written form by him, which I had to look up and go through with a fine tooth comb. I did that. The whole lot. Loads of papers. Loads and loads and loads that he'd written. By the end of it, I thought, I've got to phone this bloke up. So I phoned him up. This was Wednesday. I phoned him up. And it drove rocks dotty. She came home from work, made something to eat. I was still on the phone to him. Over 3 hours I was talking to this guy. He was of the demeanor, his general demeanor was one of absolute denial, absolute refusal, that I even for me to question him. I said, you haven't really got evidence, have you? I haven't seen any evidence in this documentation. None of it. And I've been through the whole lot. I haven't seen any evidence. He was an absolute denial. Well, you haven't been looking. You haven't looked hard enough. Why haven't you looked hard enough? Other people say, well, who? Who exactly? Is there a scientific board that was saying it? No, I haven't seen it. I said, look, I can't have you on the show. I'd like to, because he's a new person coming from India. Lovely, Oh, hang on. Hey, Kenny. Hey, thank you for making it, brother. I appreciate that. Oh, I'm going to show some of the photos as well tonight. So, yeah, that should be good. So anyway, yeah, so he was, going on, but showed no evidence. Bottom line, had no evidence, just had written paper. But he would battle with me. He was constantly battling with me, about, yes, it is evidence in itself. It's all there well, summarize the evidence for me then. I'm not going to name him. Summarize the evidence for me that you've got written. Summarize it. If you can't see it for yourself, then obviously you're not investigating yourself, are you? You don't know very much about cryptids. Well, no, I suppose not. But I do know, when I see logical, laid out summary, in a coherent fashion, not with loads of emojis all over it, So Anyway, 3 hours later, and that was it, and I was like, "Ugh," you know? But it, you know, it got me thinking, um, you know, about investigators. I go investigating as well, you know? And sometimes it kind of, you know, it worries me because there's 2 types of investigators, yeah? You get one type where they're so, um, indoctrinated. They're so within their own study, their field of study. They've come up with this idea that, it accounts for everything, and they've come up with this idea, and that's it. They're like a train on tracks. They boom, boom, chugging along that line, and they will not deviate. They will not deviate. It doesn't matter if you throw tons of logic at them, tons of, you know, you're wrong. It can't be. How about thinking about something else? Surely you'll take something else on board with you, won't you? No, I never will. My way's the right way. You know? And they get the more they work on their own study, the more entrenched in that idea they become. And the flexibility of thought goes out the window. Totally goes out the window. You know, they're not open. They're no more. There comes a point where they are no more open to other people's opinion or sense. Yeah, sense, just common sense. Nothing special. It's important though. It's important because unless we're a bit more open in the way that we approach this subject, and kind of we can't just be uh you know stuck in a rut. We can't be just like, this is our way and there's no other way. We are My way of doing it is they're all on a time frame that I've mentioned about the Everything Angel. They're all on a time frame, and we're 35mm film. We're going along on the phone of time, and that's it. And da, da, da. Well, I came up with that theory, but it's a theory. It's a theory. I know that. If something else comes along which can knock that theory off, or it makes sense, or works with it, I'll be the first to embrace it. I will be the first to embrace it, man, because it's important. It's flexibility of thought, and flexibility of thought works. Dogmatic thought in this thing does not work. So when you just kind of just blinker yourself into one thing, and he got so irate, so angry that I couldn't see this evidence, which didn't exist. And I said, I can't put you on the show. He wanted to be put up as a scientist. I said, I can't put you up as a scientist. I can't write scientist under your name. Can't do it. Can't do it. You're not. I can't do it. So blah, 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 blah. Ah. So anyway, yeah, that was that. That was enjoyable. That was an enjoyable week, man. That was a good Wednesday. I enjoyed that. That was a good Wednesday. Yeah, yeah, that was quite fun. But it sometimes you get good and some, So, but anyway, yeah, um, yeah. So that's a bit, it's difficult. I get it. With investigators, it's difficult because kind of, from one one week to the next, you might have a quiet period. You may be nothing out there. There might be no evidence. There might be no bark wrapping on the trees. There may be no footprints. There may be no there may be no evidence, no lights in the sky. There may be no howling. There may be no strange sounds in the foot. Nothing. nothing to present to you. But I always say I would prefer to present nothing than present crap. And I think you appreciate that. You present is honest. You know, if I do have something, it's only small, tiny little snippets. It's not a great deal that I present, but still, I hope you find unexplainable, strange, odd, and that counts for something rather than having hours and hours and hours going on about a tree break or some uh, I don't know, footprints in the mud which was made by a coyote, or just for want of content. So I always like kind of, I'd rather bring nothing or chat rubbish, which I often do. I've chatted a lot of rubbish lately simply because I haven't been able to get out there. But I do enjoy this Friday catch up, and I've got quite a bit to show you this Friday. So uh hang on, was it ready, steady, go? I can understand that mentality from an experiencer, but we shouldn't be seeing that rigidness from an investigator or scientist. No, that's quite right. I agree. Ready, steady, retro. I do agree with that. Yeah. And yeah, Sean agrees with you as well. So true, retro. That's right, Kate. Yeah, hi Retro. Just catching up on his chat is better than fake crap. I think so because it's your time. I appreciate your time coming on listening to me waffle on. But that's what I wanted to broach. Yeah, it was a failed interview. Failed interview. Absolutely no way would I bring that forward here. No, but I wouldn't do it. I would not waste your time with it. Would not waste your time. Anyway, so we've got some stuff going on. Right, let's crack on with it. Okay. So thank you for listening to that. I just had to have a bit of slight whinge, but it's just not that I'm angry. Right. So, right. What I'm going to do now, what I've got is, I have been sent in first of all, on Messenger. I was talking to a lot of people know him, Ian Wood. He came on my show, been on the show a couple of times, maybe 2 or 3 times now. But he's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy. I like him. I consider him a friend. I do consider him a friend. And but a lot of times, like with photographs, pareidolia steps in. So I get quite a few photos from him, and I have a look at them. And in all honesty, he knows this himself. I can't see a lot because it's either foliage, it's pixelated, it's kind of not that. I can't quite get it. I can't quite. Can't get. And then sometimes he sends me stuff like this week and the end of last week and this week, he sent me this. And these photos are some of the best that I've seen. Some of the best that I've seen. And I was very impressed. So Ian, well done to you. So I shall start off with, I'm going to add stage. Let's have a look. Comments quickly. Let's have a look. We like your answer. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. All right. That's thank you, Jojo. Well, catch up with you soon, brother. Yes, Louis. Take care. All right. Have a good afternoon at work. Have a good afternoon at work. Hello, Berman Harris. Interesting. Jeff earlier that in the US they're actually creating Dogman. Don't know what for though. Well, do you know? I've heard this. I have heard this. That Dogman, is created, because it's such a, when you witnesses to him. Luckily, I've only seen Type 3 from a distance, because because I was like wandering along with the dog, basically wandering along with the dogs. Had Ruby and Basil with me, came up to a fallen tree, couldn't go on, continue on with the pathway because it was blocking the path. So I had to lift up, stop and lift up because to my right hand side was brambles. Had to actually lift up on this pathway in the wood, Ruby, carry her across like a princess over the brambles. No, Basil it was first of all. So Basil. So lift him up like a prince over the brambles, lay him down. Ruby, in the meantime, who's more of a she was in her heyday, she was more of a ratter, you know, a pretty good hunter herself, you know, little rodents stuff. Um, Someone caught her eye behind us, and then I heard wood knocks, caught it on video, brilliant, got it on video, the wood knocks, and I saw these two creatures flitting around, you know, and when I looked at the video, yeah, that was definitely type 3, two of them. One was smaller than the other, but the taller one, looking at the tree afterwards when I went, must have been around about 9 foot tall against the tree when you go back and sort of like give a rough measurement. So yeah, quite sizable. But yeah, being that they're sort of what I'm getting at, being that they're ultimate predator wise, claws, you know, the body, the V shape, small waist, massive, big, strong legs, you know, they're you know, they're custom built. If you're going to make something that was going to be a predator, that would be it. That would be it. That'd be, you know, the ultimate predator, you know. Um, yes, Jojo, yeah. Dogmen are your thing, yeah. Yeah, for sure. They are intriguing. Yeah, they are. Uh, always have been wolves, then where's now Dogman? Yeah. Interesting. Was that in the States? Um, Yeah, I think if you're asking me, Ready Steady Retro, no, that was in the UK that I saw those. I think that was if it was Brennan, um, then I think it might be in America. I think he was talking about the States. Yeah. Um, oh wow. Oh yeah, Dogman tattoo. Yeah, that sounds quite cool. I'd like to get a Dogman tattoo. Um, I should do really, shouldn't I? Right. Okay. Anyway, where are we getting back to? Yeah. Now with Ian, he sent in the photo. I was going to show you the first one, right? Okay. Um, okay. So just there in the middle, as it's coming out the fern, you can just make out something. Now I'm starting off with the worst ones. Okay, these are the worst ones. There's not a load of them. There's about 10. All right, but I'm just starting off with the worst one. Okay, and then we've got another one. Okay, now you see where the ferns go into a V, just about there. Okay, you see its face. Now, if I bring up this one, where is it? That I've circled it. Yeah, before it actually raised up its head. So you've got that, and then you've got that. Do you see? And it doesn't stop there. Hang on, 1 minute. It doesn't stop there. So I circled that. Um, oh, hang on, what's going on here? Just turn on. Right, there you go. Sorry about that. Right. So okay, so we've got that, right? Then we have these ones. Caught a bit in a distance. I sort of focused in a bit more on that one. I wanted to focus in. Saw that. Could be a tree stump. Could be. But I don't I don't believe that is. I just somehow don't believe that is. You know, you get an inkling, you get an idea, don't you? You get an idea for these things, and I don't think that is. Right. So then another one. Um, hold on. Right. So where are we? Oh yeah. You know, I was talking about like clothes in the wood, clothes in the forest, where you find like trousers, pants, t-shirts. Another, and this is really upsetting for me when I come across this. More than finding pants, socks, trousers, whatever, high up in a tree, folded over. It's more upsetting for me. I find dog collars and dog leads. Ian does as well. Ian does as well. Finds dog leads, dog collars, things like that. And that's really, I find that really upsetting, you know. Um, So it's not great, not great. But so yeah, that's that one. Let's have a look. Let's get back down. Just wanted to show you these because some of these are quite interesting. And these are some of the best that I've seen. Uh, from Ian. See that one you can just see coming from the fern to the left by the tree. That is amazing because got that in two shots. Look at the fern. Look at the length of the fern where it is. Um, and then hang on, and I'll get back to it then. Then you see its head pop up. You see, and then later, I presume a moment later, he took another shot and boom. But it doesn't seem to be that he's moved the camera at all. He hasn't sort of moved it up higher. It seems to be on the same plane, the same level, which is interesting. So it looks like something else ahead of something else with ears has moved up. So yeah, really, really impressive. Very, very good. I did like those. Thank you. I do appreciate that. That was very good. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks, Ian. Yeah, so they were some of the better ones. They got me thinking. I was like, oh, that's quite good shots, those ones. If you have any shots you want to show, send them in. I'll put them up. I've got with Kenny Fubadu from North American Dogman Project main chapter. I've also got some photos I want to show you. I'll get those up. Let's go through these. Have a look. They are intriguing, Jojo. Always hoping balls. Yeah, yeah. I had there was I think I'll tell you next week because I don't think I've got time this week. But I had about an account of wolves attacking and taking people off. I had a account from a villager, if you like. But I'll tell you next week about that one. That was quite interesting. Right, so right, let's go through these, and then oh, they went straight to it, Kate. Yeah, I know. It's like yeah, they are. Ian's take some really good photos. Could be a stump, yeah, could be a stump. That okay. You saw no, no, I didn't take the photos. Um, but also I didn't go back because at the moment I can hobble about. Okay, yeah, I hobble about right, but I'm having physio at the moment. Still on one crutch now, but can't put full weight on my leg, because I had that surgery in January. So, but hopefully soon, a physio said I'll be able to sort of walking, light walking, and then I'll probably, go off do some tracks, different bits and bobs in the woods, which will be cool, because I need to build up strength in it anyway, because it's pretty knackered, strength wise, got muscles kind of gone. 401's is always finding burst balloons. Yes, I know he is. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, yeah. I know. I found those like metallic ones, those burst balloons. I found a few of those as well. But again, the interesting part is when you find, I'll tell you who I was with when I found one. I went up to Cannock Chase and I saw Stuart from Paranormal Walks. I teamed up with him. He took me to a part of Cannock Chase that I'd never been to before. He took me to German cemetery. I've done a video there. But he also took me to another part of Cannock Chase where there was like reports of missing, I think it was missing people there. I'm sure he said, I have to ask him. But and reports of dogmen sighted there and strange entities. He had a video of sort of really strange entity that he saw there at like twilight, dusky time, and it's sort of like almost like one of those smoke monsters. It was like kind of just trees, this entity like a shadow being. By the way, I've got shadow being coming up in a minute. Okay, uh, so I've got that. Anyway, so he was with us in the woods, taking us over there, and I came across this You know, the sort of the trees which are kind of like just like intermeshed like that, and they're just like branches through branches, and more of a big bush than the tree. You know, quite high. Might have been a pine or something. I don't know, but I'm not a botanist. But anyway, I looked up and there was a balloon. Well, blow me down sideways. It's not the fact that there's a balloon in the tree. The fact of the balloon being halfway down the tree, like it had worked its way down and then burst, or maybe burst and then come down the tree. But you know, how does it get into the more of the middle of the tree? How does it get into more of the food branches to then? It doesn't make sense, does it? But yeah, 401 files. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, he does some good stuff. His dog's lovely as well. Yeah. Um, yeah, there was. Let me find those other. Right, let me just find these other photos. Oh, right. Okay, hang on. Now, got these are from main chapter. Kenny Fippadu's page. What do you see there? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fingers. He sent me that, and I was like, "Oh, that's odd." Yeah, because I was seeing a video the other day, and it had uh. I'll just take that comment off. 1 minute. 1 minute. Sorry, Kate. Just got to take that off so people can see the thing. Yeah. And it was kind of um uh it was an old film video, but it had like a downed UFO, and I had to talking about these panels, and the panels kind of like they had a mold of these panels, and yeah, it was a video about that Polynesian looking alien that supposedly was found in the pilot seat of the aircraft, this UFO aircraft, and it was Polynesian looking, and it had all these like sticks going from its nose to its eyes, from its eyes to its nose, and it was able to put its hands on these plates, if you like, and they looked like they were like non-stick plates, like kind of they looked like something you could put a poached egg in. They're quite big, with indentations where you put your hands and your fingers. And she was meant to like kind of, operate the craft. And this was 3 miles long. They found it on the moon. That was the one. They found it on the moon. It was that one 3 miles long, cigar-shaped UFO on the moon. They went in there and there was a pilot, Polynesian looking, and with all the sticks and oh man, it's incredible. And I saw that again, and then I saw Kenny's picture, and I thought, oh yeah, 6 fingers. Man, mate, I know. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I think it's Bigfoot. I think it's Sasquatch that's meant to have 6 fingers as well. But you have to. Anyway, where am I going? Oh yeah, okay. So he sent me this photo as well. I've seen this photo before, but it is a banger. It is a banger. I must admit. Um, Sent me this one. I like that one. I like that one. If I captured that, I'd be well chuffed. That is such a good capture. Sorry, show me some tea. Yeah, it's such a good capture. Um, you know, you get some good photos, but once again, all of the photos, all of the video, mostly nowadays, you can't not proof, are they? You know, I mean, could someone play about with that? Could that be manipulation? It looks good, doesn't it? But yeah, but then again, yeah, if it is, I think it probably could be. More than likely is. I mean, just look at that. I mean, just honestly, Dogmen. I take it from me, right? I have seen a type 2. Type 2s don't look like that. They don't look like that. They're broader, squatter, shorter, but they're built like tanks. They haven't got a big muzzle. They've got more of a flat face. You know, unless that was a bulimic type 2, that was going to be a type 3, I reckon. And it looks tall. That looks tall to me, and that does not look like a stump to me. That one. Once again, could be wrong. It's difficult, isn't it? You know, it's difficult to know. You know, it's yeah, you know, who could tell? Anyway, so I just wanted to show you that because he sent those in to me, and very kind of him to do that. And right, hang on, where we got to? Okay, right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just bring out. I've got a statement again. This one is from a guy that wasn't living in this country at the time. I'm just going to get it up and put it on. Right. Okay, I'm just going to get it up. Okay. Right. Let me just get up there. Yep. Okay. Right. Sorry about that. Not catching up with the comments, guys. You know, I am trying. I am trying. A lot of people say I'm trying. Right. Looks like a horse leading. Right. Yeah. 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 Form is always finding burst. Well, no, he is. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, they are some good photos, madam. Very good photos. Yeah, that was. It was. Looks like a fake finger to me, though. Yeah, well, you know, that's the thing. You know, it could well be. It's difficult, isn't it? It's like, you know, anyone that finds, you know, fingerprints, handprints, footprints, it's, you know, you make a photograph it, you can probably make a cast of it, you can, you know, but the most important thing is you need to have something bona fide to judge it against. That's the thing we're missing. We haven't got anything to relate it to. That's the really important thing. You know, there's no benchmark of a footprint to relate that to. There's no benchmark of a handprint to relate that to. There's not one of you alien. There's not one of, well, there's meant to be loads of species, but there's not one of a Sasquatch. There's not one of a Dogman. It's not. We have got footprints. Have got paw prints, but there's nothing to benchmark it against. You know, that's the really hard part, and that's, you know, we're desperate for, you know, proof, but hopefully we'll get something, you know. I'm not going to hold my breath for Trump, you know, coming out with anything, but, you know, I think he's too busy at the moment. Right. Okay. Right. This is a testimony that was sent in to me a little some time ago. Okay. The guy wants to be anonymous. Yes, it's a guy. I know, I've always let that out. But I'm not going to tell you who. Okay. And this was his first testimony that he sent me. Right. Okay. And this guy, 100%, I do believe. I've spoken to him. He is a very believable guy. If anything, he's got so much humility. He's so nice, so much humility. You know, he's just a very understated guy. Very understated. Which is, you know what I mean? In something like this, when you're sending through, you know, witness statements, it's really nice, you know. Right, okay, here we go. I quote. Um Hang on a minute. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on a minute. Got it. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Okay. Did have it. Did have it. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Right. Right. Come on, load up, load up, load up. Sorry, guys. A minute, it's loading up. Come on. Right. God, would you believe it, honestly? Come on. Come on, come on. Where are you? Where are you? I've got it here for some reason. It's just not loading. I had it up a minute ago. Comes a banger as well. Pain. Come on. Bear with, bear with, bear with. Right. No, can't find. Oh, I don't know where that one went. Oh, hang on. No. I'm sorry, guys. For some reason, it's not opening the file. That's weird. Oh, that's weird. Strange. Okay, not a problem. Go to phase 2. I am right. Okay, phase 2. Right then. Shadow beings. Now, as you know, I have, and I'll explain it a little bit. Okay, now there is a property which is haunted, very, very haunted. And the people that live there know it's haunted. Anyway, they contacted me. You know, they uh, and people have died in this place previously. You know, not in bad way, but you know, just naturally. You know, but still, you know, it's seen its fair share. Um, Originally, it was built in the 60s. This place was, so it's not terribly old, but it has got a really spooky feel to it, and especially the conservatory extension part. And one of the people that stays there um, have often said that they've heard things. They've allowed me to record them saying that they've heard things like whispering, chatting, talking. I get this, the sound of like chickens being strangled out there. I swear, honestly, this is exactly what they said. Um, Chatting, whispering. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Also, like a band, like trumpets playing. Is it what? Trumpet? Yeah. The front door going, but no one was there. And I was like, right, but could be any time, but usually it's like at night or early morning. You can hear the door, boo, 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 but no one's there when you go to answer it or shout. They shout, "Hello, is anyone there?" No, nobody there. So lots of strange stuff going on, and it got me a bit intrigued. So I said, "Well, I tell you what, they go away during the winter, um, and when they go away, um, I said, "Look, I've got some really kick-ass equipment." Yeah. So I've got, like, in a total, got microphones loaded out over there. I've got cameras loaded out over there. I've got infrared equipment loaded out over there. Um, now, um, so when they go away, it's basically they've got free surveillance, security surveillance. I put in, like, kind of outdoor cameras. I've got the front door covered. I've got the side passageway covered because there's a side passageway of a gate that opens. It's a cast iron gate, and many times they've heard it open, bang against the wall, but then when they go out there, expecting the gate to be there open, it's closed again. It's got one of those latches, you know. Just flick the latch up and it opens out. But you need to open that latch. You can't, just the wind won't open it. You need to open it. You have to physically bump down and then open it. So I said, look, I'll do that. Let's do a deal. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll put that in. Now, there is another room in this place which is very, very spooky and very haunted. But I respect their privacy, and they're quite okay and willing for me to investigate and surveillance camera and microphone their conservatory, their extension part, because they said that's where they get a lot of sounds from. I said, that's great. Okay, I'll do that then. I'm happy with that. And also, they get some state of the art outdoor cameras, lighting, LED lighting, microphones. I mean, you'd be an absolute nut job to try and break in, and because it comes directly down to my computer, phone, if anything moves in there, you know, or if anything's heard, there's also kind of, comes down. So, I got it pretty well covered. I've found a lot of stuff going on in the conservatory. I found a lot of orb activity going on and an awful lot of, which I find quite shocking, shadow entity stuff going on. Um, so, I've had things to do with shadow entities, as you know. You know my story. Um, and I didn't have a great time with them. One, I didn't have a great time. Anyway, and these things I can't account for. I've been in and around photography, videography for years, years, right from when I was a kid, right from when I was a kid. Um, my dad was a good photographer, very good photographer. Um, you know, uh, I know how to use a camera. I know how cameras work. I can't account for these shadow entities. I can't. Videoed them before, but I've got two new ones that are really odd. I just want to show you the film. I had to make. I thought I made it into a film, um, because it's a better way of doing it. But if you want me to stop it, go back, whatever, yeah, just let me know. I'll try. I'll leave the comments open anyway. I'll leave those comments so I can see them. Right, here we go. Oh, let me just look at that. Okay, listen to this. I'll play it again. Hold on. Right, that often happens. So I've got other video, same place, where pardon me, where they go in the opposite direction. So they're kind of like flying across the room towards the glass, because there's lots of glass panels around, right? And then as soon as it gets close to the glass, you hear a knock, but not a crack of glass, just like a knock like that, as if they've gone through. And that also gave me a bit of a, like I'm saying, that things always kind of, uh, one thing intertwines into another idea. Well, I was thinking these energy orbs, UFOs, spirits, whatever they are, only other time I've heard anyone talk about um, knocks or bangs or, like pops, you know, take for instance in the wood. I was looking for Sasquatch and I got a baseball bat and I was hitting the trees. Bang, bang, bang. I've done the same, not with baseball bat, but with another branch. And it never sounds the same. It can never sound the same. Not as a wood knock you hear in a wood or forest. And in an interview I had with Matthew A. Johnson from the Zanu group, yeah. Um, I said to him about this wood knocking. I said, "What do you think? You're part of the 12, the heads, the hierarchy. What do you believe those wood knocks are?" And he said, "They're not wood knocks, Phil." I was like, "Well, what are they then?" He said, when people have accounts of Sasquatch and it disappears into a tree, or it goes behind the tree and you can't see it anymore. He said, it goes into the tree. He said, "Phil, that's the sound of it going into the tree, the wood knock, like that, into a tree, and then coming out again like that. That's the sound." He said, "There is a physical sound." So maybe with these orbs, it's the same thing. I don't know. Is it's passing through material? Maybe. See, that little shadow entity is just strange because it goes along from the left, past the chair. It's a lot darker than the surrounding area. Remember, the only light we see is from the infrared. There's no internal light on in this conservatory. There's no exterior light on. I've got exterior lights. I put them up myself. They've got exterior lights to be triggered on PARs if they sense movement. Um, Two of them also I've triggered to uh, a round garage area, but and also sound as well. They're triggered, but they weren't triggered. It was completely dark outside. This is just the internal light, the PAR, okay, the sensor, and it just picks up this shadow, and it goes not there. Look, and it goes from the chair, but comes. You know where the stick is across the chair here. It comes towards the camera and seems to go past. That's a big, big shadow being. It's you can just see it there, and it just kind of goes along and just disappears almost into that room there on your right is another room. Yeah, that's another, just like a second bedroom, if you like. It just disappears into there. compared with the little one that we saw at low level, that's a big one. There's 3 days apart on this. So the little one was first. 3 nights later, it was this big one. All in around roughly, I have got accurate times, I would say between 1:30 and 3:30 in the morning is the active time for the shadow beings. That's the active time. Right. So, I mean, the most fascinating one I thought is, if I can get it right up, let's have a look. Yeah, this one, the large one. That thing. That is quite clear, and that's quite big. That is crazy. I mean, if you saw that, you'd think the house is on fire or something. It looks like smoke, but it's not. And it's still got form to it as it's moving. There's form to it. I mean, it's just mad. Look at that. When I saw that, I was like, what the hell? I've not seen one that big in that property, in that area. I was just like absolutely crazy. And the small one's very much more defined, but you can see as it moves, it 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 comes across, and then it just goes beat forward, comes towards the camera. And that knock, that's an odd one. Yeah, I know what you mean, Jojo. It's odd. But it makes me wonder if they have to go through the material and they go through this material, they go through a window. Maybe it is that if they do make a sound as they transmigrate. Is that the word? I don't know if that's a word, but I want to use that word anyway. I want to use that word. But if they go through a substance, a material like glass, do they make a sound? I mean, does Sasquatch make a sound as it goes into a tree? Are we mistaken? It's not wood knocks at all. It is it entering into a. See, look at that. Look, and then it goes along, and then look at the chair. Look at the chair with the stickers. Just see it go past there and then go off towards that room. It almost looks like I see legs on that. It's like it almost seems like I could see flipping legs. That is just the oddest thing. There is another really steady retro. Yeah, they are very thin double glazing though. It is thin. It's not a wide gap between the glazing. It's quite old. It's still the original glazing as it was in the 60s. So I'd say it was no more than maybe about 30 mil, maybe at the most 30 mil glazing, if that. The top sections aren't. They're not. The top sections, they're thinner. They're thinner. They open out, some of those do. So they kind of like open out like that. From the bottom up, they open out. Um, you know, so they're kind of like, they're hinged at the top and they just open outwards into the garden like that, like so. Oh, it's a nice big place, lovely. And during the day you don't find anything, and I can't say there's anything that moves in there. I've never seen anything move, except for these entities and these shadow beings. But I've not seen anything move. I've asked the people that lived there, so did things disappear? No. Um, but there is another room where things tend to appear, called the coin room. Um, and things tend to move. Um, Now, I I've got microphones throughout the place, but I'm very careful. I'm very careful when it's occupied fully to turn those ones off. I just keep the ones on in the conservatory. But in the house, I'm very careful to turn those ones off. And they're the sort of microphones that you can see when they're off because the light doesn't come on. So, um, yeah. So, oh, hi, Abs. You all right? Yep. Happy Friday. Yeah. Doing okay. Doing all right. Not too bad. Getting there. Slow trek though, Abs. Absolutely slow trek, but yeah, slowly but surely. But yeah, still a bit of a raspberry, still hurtling around on one stick now. I've got the neck of one stick. So yeah, I hope everything's going all right with you. You know, in the madhouse, you know. Um, anyway, so where was I? Yeah, yeah. So this room, the coin room. So they find coins. They have found coins, like old fashioned, almost like worn out. It's been rubbed, used a lot. Um, you know, Yeah, 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 yeah. No, thank you, mate. Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know, as soon as I'm all good, then boom, I'll be out there, Um, miss you guys, miss you guys. I do. Yeah. But yeah, so coins, these old coins, like kind of but threepenny bits, shillings, and they find them, not loads of them. But I'd say, I mean, I've been told that, they kind of like appear at least 2 every 10 days, couple over 10 days, 2 weeks. And then sometimes they don't get any for maybe a month, 6 weeks, but then it happens again. So, that is quite a strange, strange thing. That is, one of those things which, it's just a bit odd, just a bit odd. They've got Wi-Fi in a place, but the Wi-Fi does kick out sometimes for no reason at all. Um, uh, and also, I found down the side alleyway of this property, that's I think I featured it last week. The shadow beings going outside of the property. Now that is really odd because I've got cameras, super duper cameras out the back, covering the side passageway and the garden. We saw the shadow beings going past window like they're on roller skates, but they didn't trigger the sensors. So that was quite strange. Um, but yeah, the ones internal, these latest ones, I'm really pleased with. Really good captures. And I'd like to know your thoughts. What do you think on these shadow beings? What do you think they are? I mean, are they spirits? Are they manifestations of us when we pass over? They don't seem to interact with their surroundings. If anything, they seem to, if going by the film, and I'll put that film on YouTube. I'll stick that onto YouTube. If anything, they seem to walk around or go around, especially that little short one seems to go around and go around the chair. But height doesn't make any difference to it. It kind of starts off on the floor and then it kind of goes up. Look, hang on, look. All right, wait a minute. Look, so it's just incredible, just incredible. Let me just get it up. Hang on, let's have a look. Right, here. Right. Look, there it is. Yeah? Right, okay. Now look at it going, it goes towards the camera, above the chair. You just saw it above the chair, and then drifts off. I mean, what the hell? I was, it's just crazy, isn't it? It's just what the hell's going on with it? What do you think they are? They are something. They are something. They're being picked up. The camera triggers for them. They're setting off the detector. But what the hell they are, do not know. Is it drifting through? You can tell, you know what? You know, when you'd see the old-fashioned cartoons and movies of ghosts where they're like kind of just drifting along. Look at that. Seeing that close up there? Just going past? It's just crazy. But yeah, some of these old films, look at that. And then it comes forward, it looks like, and goes over the top of that chair and then through into the room. You know, I just like, what the hell, man? You know, like, seriously, you know, it's just crazy. I'd love your thoughts on that. I really would like to know what you actually think of that. And have you ever seen any of, have you seen them? Have you seen that in your house? Have you got footage like that? Have you got footage of that? That'd be interesting. That would be interesting. You know, that would be very good indeed. Anyway, with the statement, I'll get it up again. Okay. I'll have to shove it on. So there'll be two statements next week. I've got one which comes from we were talking about, I was talking about India before, yeah, with that guy. But anyway, it's got nothing to do with him. This one was sent in by a YouTuber. Yeah, this other statement. So I've got one which is from Croatia, and I've got one which I couldn't get up. It just wouldn't bring it up for me, which is a pain. But and I apologize for that. I really do. Honestly, I wanted to tell you it, but I've got, so I'll have two next week. And the other one is from a place called Uttar Pradesh in North India by the Himalayas. And what that one is about, it was sent in to me, crikey O'Reilly, by this guy. And I sat on it for ages until I spoke to him again. It must have been about a year and a half ago. Must have been. Anyway, I I believe by the way he was talking, he was a police officer or someone of good standing. And he was telling me a story in Uttar Pradesh that, you know, they're made up of small little villages. And a lot of times, this was in the 1980s, the story comes from. And there was one village which the young men used to get drunk and play up and be yobbos basically to the next village along, you know. Um, you know, because there was girls in that next village, and you know they would like sort of play up, and you know. Anyway, this one evening, uh, so this, I'm going to call him a officer, come inspector, come investigator. I'm not sure, but he had some good standing in the village and the area. He knew it very well. He sounded like he did. When I go into detail next week, you'll know. Anyway, the general gist of it is, so one evening, the village, it was about 11 o'clock at night, the village started to get raided. Now, raided, I mean, they started destroying some of the huts. They took some livestock. Livestock was released, and they took some livestock, goats and stuff like that. Uh, they evidently they took the lives of a few of the villagers, and the manner in which they were found, they were not in a good way. They'd looked like they'd been savaged. Had claw marks, bite marks. This is in Uttar Pradesh, right near Himalayas. but on the other side, China and Persia and all the rest of it, Iran. So, and so there was a few survivors, and there was an old lady that spoke to this chap who gave me that I was talking to. Yeah, that gave me this statement. And this old lady was like a wise woman of the village that got ransacked. And she would not stop to the police. She would not stop. She said, it's the truth. She said, listen, they weren't the neighboring boys from the village drunk. They weren't renegades. Because these villages are isolated. You know, they're isolated. They are isolated. You know, it's no good calling up an ambulance and expecting it to go, oh dear, it's like, oh, I've been waiting like 3 hours for that, 4 hours, 5 hours. I mean, it's pretty bad as it is over here, but it's weeks. It's air ambulance. It's weeks can be, you know. And she gave a statement saying, the old lady did, that they were dog-headed men. Just let that think in a bit. It did with me. I had to let that sink in. I said to him, I said, is it known? Was the statement given to the police? Was it logged down? Was it given? He said, yes. I said, what did the others in the village say? Did they go along with what she was saying? They said, pretty much, yeah. A lot of them were busy running. They're running out of the village. They're running out of the village, a lot of them were. They didn't stop. So it's only because this old lady was half, you know, what's the word? A bit like me, half knackered. So couldn't run anywhere. So she had no choice. For some reason, she got away with it. They didn't tear her to bits. They didn't. So I said, would it be possible to get that statement from the police, do you think? He said, to be honest, he said, that's buried. That's been buried by the Prime Minister years ago. There's an Indian Prime Minister that buried it, and the statement. They often do, Phil, over here. I was like, they often do. Surprise, surprise. You know, like we don't have that happen here, I guess, you know. So that's an interesting, but I'll go into that in a bit more detail because it's quite a long, drawn out statement that he gave me. Interesting. And the way he wrote it, you know, he wrote it like a police officer. You know, he kind of like a bit clinical, bit cold, bit clinical, bit kind of very accurate. Times, dates, even what sort of he put down what the old the old lady kind of like talking about the you know, the fire, that they were wary of the fire. The fire is the one thing that they were very wary of because they set a fire accidentally. The fire started and that scared them. Interesting, isn't it? Food for thought. It is food for thought. And I was like, wow, that is yeah, that's odd. Let's have a look, see what Ab says. Oh, you think it was a spirit? Oh, that shadow being. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I don't know. I honestly don't. I think we all blame, a lot of times blame spirits, but what actually is a spirit? I've been ghost hunting many times, caught stuff on video. Last week I did show that spirit entity ghost above those candles, LED candles on the table. Quite clear, ever so clear. It wasn't the candles because of a LED, so it wasn't the smoke of that. But I don't know what it, until we know what spirits are, what are spirits. But yeah, it could be energy, could be an energy, of sorts. But if there were dead people that had come back, just say, if it was me and I kind of tripped over Basil or Ruby, and Basil goes, I tripped over him, hurtled down the stairs, crutch going everywhere. And they came back as one of those entities, those shadow entities. My thing would be I would have this compulsion. If I had enough, if I had enough awareness to be able to move in and around or over furniture or in a direction, it looked like they were moving in purpose, for a purpose, with purpose. Which tells me that that why don't they ever kind of interact more? The only interaction we ever get from spirits is Ouija boards, body tipping, table tipping, which once again leaves things way, way, way too open for human manipulation. So I don't like those sort of things because it's so easy to. I remember going on a ghost hunt, North Weald train station, and they done a Ouija board, and in the end, you just kind of like you lose a bit of. I was losing the faith. I was really losing faith in it. I was videotaping it. I got it on video, and in the end, they were asking these questions, saying, "Am I going to go on holiday this year?" Seriously, this young girl, well, 30s, young to me. Am I gonna go on holiday this year? I mean, seriously? And she got an answer. Yes. Oh, I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in it really, you know. Um, let's have a look there. What we got? There's a couple of young men in my town who were getting terribly taunted by shadow beings. They witnessed them climb walls, even had them enter their cars, tap their shoulder. Do you know, it's funny you mentioned about that. Yes. Now I've got another guy, right? I audio only. He's allowed me to use it. I'll play it next week. And when he was younger, he witnessed when he was younger these shadows climbing up a block of flats in London. Huge big block of flats. Climbing up the side of these block of flats. I said, "What, one?" "No, Phil. No, 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 no." It was dozens of them. Yeah. So, that's kind of did I ever send you vids of my dog reacting to something? Yes, I saw that. Yes, you did. You did, bless you. Yes. I know that was odd. That was odd. Um, I've seen spirits more than once. I can sense them. I sense them, I tend to capture them more on camera than I do actually see them, but true. I've often wondered if they present as clear as they want to. Equally, it depends on their energy, doesn't it? And also depends on the way they passed and if they're vengeful. It's such an open book and so hard to know, isn't it? What else do you think it could be? Um, well, personally speaking, I think that there's an awful lot. Um, I think that you're going to think me mad here. I think that spirits, aliens, Skinwalker Ranch, um, Bigfoot, even Dogman. But I think Dogman's slightly different. Dogman I take back. I think that's slightly different. I think going back to, do you remember going back in the Comments earlier, the Dogman being manufactured, I've got a feeling that there's something in that. Because there is a base in the Midlands which shut down now, but it's still got quite a big underground silos and stuff to it, you know, tunnels and everything. And it was very well known for uh you know, let's say genetic manipulation. But I should talk about that in some depth next week as well as those statements as well. I won't forget those. But no, I think that all of these things are connected. We can't just like kind of say, right, okay, because a lot of these things interlope. Yeah, they lap over themselves. Like for instance, the orb we saw the orb and you heard the clonk, and then you saw the orb flying through the air. I've had that on video before with them going in the other direction. As soon as it goes towards the window, it's like that again, it hits and boom, makes that same sound. So Sasquatch does the same. I've been told with uh you know going into trees makes the same sound. Sorry, not quite up to scratch with the shadow beings. So I'm learning. Oh no, that's cool. Look, listen, at the end of the day, Abs, we're all learning because nobody actually knows for sure. No one can know for sure. So, you know, we're all learning. But no, I think it's kind of there's something which binds it all together. And I think there's the origin. I think it's the origin that is binding everything together. We need to suss out what this common denominator is, what this origin is. Um, let's have a look. Retro, they visit my house, including inside in ethereal form. Wow. Oh, Sean, what? Um, Lambs up. Did that scare you? Let's have a look. Ready, steady. That's interesting, Phil. These guys have said there has been a dozen or so in the same room. They crawl, climb, and walk. Yes, I know. The crawling part is creepy. I find the crawling part is very creepy. Um, very odd. There's a girl that is a witch. But I know of her, Agnes Obel. She's a singer, and she brought out a song "Run," cried the crawling. When you play that, it's like kind of all about that type of thing, like Shadows movie. Very good, really good, really good. Good singer. Right, okay. Nothing negative, unfortunate. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I had a shadow being encounter, scared the bejeez out of me. God bless me, really. Honestly, that scared the bejeez. You know, oh, I won't forget that in a hurry. I weed myself, seriously. It's the only time I ever weed myself, you know, and I've been in some hairy situations, as a lot of people know. In a lot of my investigations, I go in tunnels, on my own at night in the dark. A lot of times when I go in the woods, I go on my own. I don't go as a group, not because I'm harder than anyone else. It's just I know that if anything's going to happen, it's a personal thing. We spoke about it last week. You're not going to get very much happen by 10, 20 people bumbling into a room saying, is anybody out there? Can you hear me? Move something if you can hear us. Was that you, Jack? No, it weren't me. Was that you, Tommy? No, it weren't me. Oh, okay. Anyway, where's that camera crew? Oh, it's over there. You're not going to get that because it's not conducive to that type of thing. You know, they play games. If you're going to go anywhere, go on your own safely. Safely. I always make sure I'm safe. But you know, go. You get more because they react. They're kind of like jokers, aren't they? They kind of react more on your peripheral vision. They sort of fleet past, but they do interact more when I'm on my own. So hopefully I'll be able to get out there a bit more. I agree. I would say they have defo got some and now making hybrids. Yes, yes, yes. I agree, Jojo. I think with Dogman it's slightly different. I do think it's slightly different. I agree with you. I think that they are in a way years and years and years and years ago. I think they were manufactured for a reason. They were built. They were genetically modified, and built. Dogmen were because they're just two. They are just too flipping nasty looking, predatory. They're like the tip of the tree when it comes to, especially in the UK, predator, or even the States. Even the States, what can match that? Brown bear? No. Even a brown bear. They're vicious. You get them cornered. No, but no, against a dog man, like 12-foot dog man, 10-foot dog. No, no, no. They're just too custom built. So yeah, I agree with Jojo. I think there's something different. Ready, steady, Sean. Wow, Sean. Hope it stays non-negative for you. Yeah, I do indeed. Yeah, I do as well. Okay, they won't go into the light though. No, they don't. They don't like it. Very true. They don't like it. When I saw my shadow being, it happened in a corner of the room. It's very dark. It's like a ball of black smoke that spiraled and formed this figure. It was almost like Plato's cave. I was lying in bed, seeing like in Plato's cave when I saw, the figures against the wall through the firelight, the shadow beings, um, and it formed this really thin kind of, Pied Piper thing. But I've been down that road before now, so yeah. But okay. I had a really terrifying experience 30 plus years ago with a large shadow man with a hat on. Yeah, same here. Standing over me. I was paralyzed. Didn't know anything about them or heard of them back then. I'll tell you what, Ready Steady Retro, get in contact with me. Yeah, DM me or something. I'll tell you why, because I had the same thing happen. The same thing. It'd be interesting. I know certain things that I'd like to tell you to see if that you go, yes, Phil, yes. Yeah. Just to see if there's kind of, but yeah, I had the same. I had exactly the same. Put the fear of on I couldn't move. Couldn't move. Forget that. Paralyzed. Moved my head. I was awake. I know I was awake. So does that mean your encounter or others could either be the real dogman or one of the ones that are genetically modified? Could you tell the difference? Well, that's the thing. I think abs with dogmen, I've had encounters with dogmen. Type 1, I've seen very often. There's one not far from where I am at the moment. And one not very far. If I was to walk half an hour, I could get there. You often see them by cemeteries. You often see them by burial mounds. Big, large, dark hound creature. Usually, it's got like glowing red eyes. But yeah, around cemeteries and stuff like that. I saw it in a wood. I videoed it. Look at my videos on my library, and you'll see type 1 dog man, black hounds, whatever, but it's on there. And it's by a tree. I was with the dogs went crackers, and I was like, what the hell's going on with you guys? Wait, come on, what's the matter? I was like, what? And I looked over in the direction they were looking at, and there was this black dog man by the tree. They're quadrupedal, so they don't stand up on two legs. They are like a big black hound. Essex, you get them over the border, mostly Norfolk, Suffolk, long history, Norfolk, Suffolk. But yeah, I think they are, to be honest, I think they are the type 3s are genetically made. They were made for a reason. I saw a type 3 from a distance, two of them, like I said, I spoke of earlier. And they are built because there's nothing in nature that would build that, because there's nothing in nature which would necessitate that being made. Do you see what I mean? It's too, when you look at it, and any regeneration of it from witness accounts made into description or AI, they look like nothing else on earth. Talons, really long talons. They're like muscular, strong, tall, broad. They kick ass fast. They're just like boom. But there's nothing out there to necessitate in evolution for them to be looked that way, because there's nothing that vicious that would need to have them in evolution. In evolution, I suppose the nearest you'd want is maybe one of the leopards, one of the, one of the bobcats, one of the leopards. Yes, I could see a bear. Yes, I can see, but a dogman type 3, I don't know what that's meant to take down. I wouldn't want to meet it. Whatever that's designed to take down, I wouldn't want to meet. So that's what I think that's true. I think that's right. We spoke a couple of weeks ago, Phil. Sent you Dogman photos. Oh yeah. I've had many experiences over the year. Do you know what we have to? Yeah, we'll have to catch up. If you can message me again, that would be really good, and we'll try and catch up and have a chat. A proper like chat. Yeah, mine's always been on spirit side, so I want to see a dogman. Okay, all right then. Well, you never know what you wish for. Sean Bryce, that's an incredible experience. Sean, yeah. I'm just catching up with all these, and then I'm going to have to say at 6. It's 1 hour 42 now. I have had many experiences, not all of them good. I really, wow. Okay, right. Is that with dogmen, or with spirits, or shadow beings? That'd be interesting, Sean. Oh, Tommy, shadow beings coming many different forms. I'm familiar with them at 3 foot and 10 foot. 10 foot. The one I saw in my bedsit many, many years ago, do you know what? It looked like Pied Piper. If I was going to say, like, Phil, what did it look like? I told everyone it looked like the Pied Piper. Imagine the old Hans Christian Andersen, I think it was, wasn't it? I don't know, but one of the old books, and you look in Pied Piper, and it's like that sort of almost like the child catcher out of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It's like that type of thing, but really thin and tall, and but yeah, just creeps along the wall, stopped at the bottom of my bed as well. But yeah, we'll have a chat about that anyway. Ready, steady, retro. Seen my hubby ended up putting locks on the attic and booby traps all the doors in the houses, etc. What the hell, really? Yeah, we'll have to have a chat. Definitely. Sean Byers. To me, I have seen shadow beings around 3 foot. Yeah, okay, right. The smaller version live, I mean, some 6 months, but kind of moved into the HGV driver. Oh, well, hang on. With me for around 6 months, we kind of moved in with me. I'm HGV driver. He loved to travel. He or she. What? Right. Before I go, can you DM me? Are you saying that, Sean? Are you saying you have a shadow being, a small, like a shadow being that comes with you in your HGV truck, your cab? Now, listen, you know me. I'm not one to, because the whole ballpark is open, dude. The whole ballpark is open. There's nothing there's no barriers. There's no sniggering. I believe everything, because everything is possible until proven. But I wouldn't half like to know more about that. Likes to travel with you. I'd love to hear more about that. Yeah, I know. Hello, madam. Oh, good. I'm pleased you enjoyed it. I'll leave the comments open. for a little while anyway. If you just guys want to say like hi or bye or whatever, I'm just gonna go get a cup of tea. I'll stay on comments anyway for a little while. Oh, thanks, Jojo. And listen, everyone, thank you very much for joining. I do appreciate it. I really do, because I'm only a small channel, on YouTube, Dogman Teepee Hunting. It's only a small page, There's loads and loads of bigger ones out there. We know that, but any support I get, I really do appreciate. I really do appreciate. Oh, that's not a plug either, but isn't that a lovely mug? But no, I do appreciate any support. I do appreciate any support that you give. And just want to say, thank you very much. And anyway, next Friday, I'm going to have something a bit special. I'm going to have those two testimonies on as well. The one that I ballsed up and couldn't find. But other than that, listen, blessings to you all. Thank you very much for coming and visiting tonight and giving up your time. Have a great week, and I'll speak to you on social anyway. I'm always going to be about, and so that's fine. Well, take myself off. You want to have a chat, you can, and yeah, and that's good.
Right. That is that.